Houston, before we get started with the episode, Coach Waller, did you have anything you want to say?
Well, I'm glad to be here. I'm excited. I think
Yes.
this is my third,
Yes.
or no, third or fourth.
This is the first time on this platform,
Okay,
and
okay,
we actually sat and talked 2 times prior.
okay.
Okay.
Awesome. So I'm excited to be back. I've been doing some interviewing lately or
Yes.
things of that nature, so I'm glad to be on the opposite side of it
Yes.
this time. But I'm ready to get into it.
Yes. I want to say first and foremost, peace and blessings to everybody that lost their lives in El Paso and Dayton, Ohio.
Correct.
Hatred is a powerful drug. Hatred is killing our society, man, and we got to start with love. First things first, we got to start with love. And rest in peace to my boy. Houston, let's get into the episode.
Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future." Dear John, the iconic legend Quincy Jones said, "To know where you came from makes it easier for you to get where you're going." Sean Diddy Combs said, "Everyone has challenges and lessons to learn. We wouldn't be who we are without them." If 2018 and the last 6 years taught you something, it's that anything is attainable with the right focus and determination. Continue to build. Continue to promote your vision. Continue to inspire creativity and make more creatives. In closing, Nas said, "No idea is original. There's nothing new under the sun. It's never what you do, but how it's done. The first chapter of your vision's movements is done. However, you're still a visionary. Peace and blessings. John Ross."
Yo, it feel like 95, Sachi on my body, Biggie, Jigger, Puffy, all that ballin' is a hobby, and I'm wildin' in my wallet.
Welcome back to episode number 25 of the What's Next podcast, a production of Still Visionary Inc. My name is John Ross, Dike the First, and Coach Waller. Before we get started with the episode, I want to introduce our social media handles.
Okay.
So we don't disrupt the flow of the conversation when we get to that point. You can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at John Ross Dike and still_visionary. Connect with me on LinkedIn, subscribe to my YouTube channel, visit and like my fan page, and visit my website at stillvisionary.com.
And on Instagram, you can find me at Relationship Alchemy.
Okay.
Actually, it's relationship_alchemy. Let's start there and see if you like that, and then head over to my YouTube page, okay?
Okay. Before we get started, again, as you can see, Houston, Texas, on the table, I have this episode package. Going from right to left, I have the Where You From t-shirt that I produced, the podcast t-shirt, and a Still Visionary Inc. t-shirt that I produced as well. Those are going for a limited time only, so holler at me at stillvisionary.com if you want those. Listen, Coach Waller,
Yes.
it's been a long time coming, okay? And when I say that, this is episode number 25, which when this episode drops, we should be on Spotify.
Okay.
We're on SoundCloud right now, iTunes, stream through YouTube, and stream through my website. But episode 25 to me, when I think of 25, I think of a perfect square.
Okay.
The square root of 25 is 5.
Okay.
I also think of I'm not exact in this, but I also think of the time period that I met you, your age at the time period, right?
Okay.
You coach volleyball, so I think of 25. I think of 25 match points in a set.
Okay. Look at
Okay.
you, correspondent.
So, although it's not the episode that I wanted you to be on, right? It's the episode that you're on. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I'm very appreciative of that. I say that to say this. I wanted you to actually be on episode number 2
Okay.
of my podcast because I wanted to talk to a relationship alchemist, because I figured that every episode after that, every feature I had on the podcast after that, the relationship that we would build would go on to be something bigger, something better. So couldn't get you on there, but there's no better time than now.
Facts.
And I'm glad to have you. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. I feel like this is a great time to have me on. Like I've always told you, it's going to happen when it's supposed to happen,
No
when
doubt.
it's in divine timing for both of us, when it's just right. And and when I think of 25, I think of the number 7.
Okay.
And 7, when you think 7 heaven, or just balance, really.
Okay.
Balance. When I think of 7, and I was born on the 7th, so
Okay.
this is a great day for us to do this show.
Yes. It's time.
Right.
It's time.
Right. And then me, I'm into numbers and all of that stuff like that. And you said 5 is the
square root of 25 is 5.
The square root of 25 is 5. And I feel like the number 5 stands for change. So if you ever research what does 5 mean, saying like numerology, it's for change. And so I would say that at this moment, us doing this podcast is leading to change, us being better, us evolving in our craft and in our creativity. So it is whatever we make it to be, and I'm excited to be here on today.
Speaking on change, you're right. There was a time period where you weren't doing what you're doing now.
Right.
Okay. I guess it's the first time I met you. I met you like I've always said, and I said on previous platforms, that I got a genuine love for you because you literally changed my life financially at that standpoint. Right. A kid. I don't know anything about volleyball. I've learned over the past few years.
You have. And
you kind of just threw that bait out there and was like, here you go, try it. And that the opportunity that comes sometimes that's people don't give that type of opportunity.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I've been following your journey. Okay, of course I met you when you were pregnant. Okay. You had a kid before. You just had Cara at the time. We came on. You were glowing then, you're glowing now. So let's get into it. What is it that you do per se? I love your slogan. Go ahead and tell me your slogan.
Oh, I'm a healer. I help people heal their relationship with themselves to heal their relationship with others. Okay. And the glow that I've maintained over these years is strictly based off of that. Living my work. I know right now I make videos and content of that nature, and I wasn't doing that 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. Just really started consistently now. But I know I have a message. I know I have something that has the ability to help people change for the better.
No doubt.
And so it was just an instinctual push to get back to it. I actually made videos before on my Facebook, but I took a break away from it so that I can get back to doing the work for myself, which is the most important thing. And so now I just take the experiences that I have, the revelations I have, and I just share it. And I don't create videos unless it's a sharing moment and I'm really feeling inspired internally for it. And so that's how I'm here right now.
I think this morning when I was up, I got up at 7:00 this morning. By the way, today is August the 6th, 2019. Happy birthday to my brother. When I woke up this morning, I was playing the Healin is Revealin video off your YouTube channel. And you said something about optimism, right? So I remember when I was getting ready to rebrand, and I was going from the previous company to this company, and I went on all my social media handles and I flipped out all the pictures and I put the color yellow up. Because I think I researched that and I saw that yellow was a color of optimism. So that's why initially I was thinking it's summertime and it's gonna get hot, and I don't want to sweat my shirts out, so I'll just wear a dry fit, right? But then I was thinking, nah, yellow represents optimism. I'm an optimistic person. I know you're definitely an optimistic person. So that video right there, talk to us about the whole aspect of the inspiration behind the videos.
Well, like I said, the inspiration that I get from the videos strictly comes from what I'm going through in the moment or what I feel from the people around me at the moment. And so specifically the Healing and Revealing video came from me just feeling an energy from the people that I love of a depressive kind of mode or a low energy, low vibration kind of feel. And I really wanted them to know that if they would just shed light on the dark areas of their lives, that they could actually heal it, that they could actually transform it. The healing in revealing. So by allowing something to rise up and come to the surface, now we can actually do something about it. And so all of my videos stem from just that. Like, healing is such a wide thing. We talk about healing the body, healing the mind, healing the spirit, healing the emotions. So all of my videos are going to come back to that number one aspect. And first of all, let me bring this up because you brought up the yellow.
Go ahead.
And so if you don't know about chakras, I'm sure everybody has heard something about chakras. You know, people think chakras, what's that? You know, ooh, that must be something. But what it really is just energy centers within your body. Mm-hmm. And these energy centers are dictated based off of your thoughts and your emotions. And so when you bring up yellow, that's talking about the solar plexus chakra. Mm-hmm. And when we think solar, we also think sun. And I'm a firm believer in synchronicity and nothing is coincidence, but I got on my little sun shirt. Mm-hmm. So we're in direct alignment with what we're supposed to be doing at this exact space and time. So that's kind of how I live my life. I let the dots kind of connect, and I'm just kind of spiritually led. And if something says to do this at this point in time, I do it. If something says don't do this at this time, I don't do it. So again, all of my videos and all the work that I do is stuff that just comes up from within. I may have a dream or something. I wake up, I cannot get this dream out of my head, or I may be doing something and I just have an aha moment. So all the videos that I make are aha moments that I've had for myself that I feel like a lot of people are experiencing but can't contextualize and understand.
So how were you able to get to that point? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I obviously only met you through Wall Trip, right?
Right.
But before, everybody has a life before they meet people. Mm-hmm. And what was that life like before you became, because right now is different from how you were 2 years ago.
Facts.
Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and say that before, the prior 2 years before that was different. How do you go from, and let's just look at the last 6 years. Okay. How do you go from present day relationship alchemist to 2017, you were head volleyball coach, still head volleyball coach present day, and then the 2 years before that. Let's talk about the 2 years, the 6 years in the past 6 years.
I get you. Well, one thing that I like to consider, that's my mom calling. I swear she works in this building.
Go ahead.
Hold on, let me answer.
Go ahead.
Hello?
Houston, Texas. So today is August the 6th, 2019.
She don't
this is the second episode of August, all right? And let me talk to you a little bit about this. Let me talk to you a little bit about this episode package. So now we have 25 episodes, this being the 25th episode, right? The only shirt here that is an exclusive is the What's Next podcast t-shirt, which is black, which I'll give to Coach Wall at the end. Go ahead and cop all three of these, right?
Cop them.
Go ahead and send me an email and say, I want episode number, for example. This is episode number 25, so I'll make a Where You From t-shirt like this, okay? Yellow and black. SVI t-shirt with yellow, and What's Next podcast episode t-shirt in yellow, right? Go ahead.
I love it. I want 1 or 2 or 3.
Well, you'll get one today for sure.
I know. I need to cop that. I need that yellow too. That's my color.
No doubt. Go ahead.
But you asked, how did I get to this point? What happened 6 years ago? And you know what? The saying comes to mind, many are called, few are chosen. Okay. And I had to choose within myself that I was going to take the path less traveled. And so how I came to that was back in the day, let's say 2014, 2013. Okay. I was coming out, graduating from college. Okay. And like typical college graduates, not really knowing what I was going to do in my life. And it sounds so crazy because I literally have heard multiple people say post-grad depression. Yeah. You just don't know what you're going to do with your life. And I was in that space. And I've always been a person who was interested in the mysteries of the world and what's really going on, or the mysteries of life, like what is the meaning of life. Mm-hmm. And so being depressed led me to do more investigation. And so I did research on how to stop negative thinking. And then the rabbit hole just kind of opened up and I just dove in head first. And I learned about meditation. This is why I preach meditation, not preach meditation, but I advise you to go within. It don't have to be it don't have to be that. You know what I mean? Like whatever works best for you, whatever's going to allow you to rid yourself of the distractions in the moment and go within yourself and just figure out what you have to tell you. And so I was in a depressed state. And the only way that I felt like I could get out the only way that did get me out of that state of being was meditation. And when you meditate, you unlock different parts of your brain. You really do. Like you start hearing things differently. You start feeling things differently. Your awareness is heightened. And so that happened. And it just kept on unfolding and unfolding and unfolding. And then one thing led to another. In 2015, I reconnected with my love. I'm going to call him Dream Wise because that's his name. I reconnected with him and he was going through an awakening process at the same time. And that's why it's so important to be equally yoked with whoever you're in relationship with, because you need somebody who understands your plight. You need somebody who understands where you want to go and understands how to help you get there. And so I feel like that relationship definitely, or this relationship, my relationship with him, definitely helped open my mind up to more things. And that's how I got to this point right now. It literally all started with meditation. And all of these questions that I needed answers to were answered through that. And yeah, that's just what it is. Really closing my eyes, getting within myself and asking myself why, asking myself, what does this mean? And being amazed when I receive the answers.
So what would you say that the difference is between meditation and prayer? Without getting too
spooky wooky, right?
Getting too deep.
Prayer is more so you making a request, you asking for something. Meditation is you not asking for anything at all. Meditation is you actually silencing the mind and attempting to stop the continuation of thoughts. At the end of the day, you're still going to have thoughts because meditation is a practice. It's not something that you do one time and you got it down pat. It's something that you practice. And the cessation of thoughts, meaning thoughts stopping and pausing, it happens so quickly. It's a second where you will have no thought at all. And in that second is infinite possibilities. And so the more you meditate, the more you get to expand that amount of time of no thought. All right. And so the more you have no thought, the more information you're able to actually receive. So that would be the difference. Again, prayer is you making a request, you wanting to receive something, you saying, look, I want this, I need this. Meditation is you actually trying to, you practicing on ending thoughts and just being silent and letting whatever comes to you come to you. Or, because there's two different types of meditation. So one would be, you missed it today. We meditated earlier today too. You missed it.
I was a few minutes late.
Yeah. Excuse me.
A few minutes late to practice.
Exactly. But that one way of meditation is you actually trying to slow down your thoughts as much as you possibly can. The more you do it, the easier it gets, slowing them down. And then there's another aspect of meditation where you are intentionally trying to pull in thoughts. Say if you are lacking creativity, then you want to go into meditation with a spirit of receptiveness so that these different creative ideas can channel down into your mind.
Okay.
That's pretty much the difference.
See, and the thing I like about you, Coach Waller, if I haven't said this already, is that it doesn't matter the day of the week. You don't have like sometimes when people feel strongly about something or people know who they are, they try to kind of shield that a little bit. Like I know at work, people have complained about my loudness.
Okay.
And so sometimes I'm cautious to, I don't want to kind of raise my voice, but for you it's always neutral.
Mm-hmm.
You are who you are inside of practice and outside of practice.
Right.
I want to what I want to do at Houston, Texas is I want to insert a clip of you today. See,
Okay.
in preparation for this episode, I didn't know where I wanted to go with it, but I wanted to put a clip in so that the world can see how you act and how there's no difference between us sitting here right now
Right.
and how you preach and coach the kids. Houston, Texas, you're watching episode number 25. We'll be right back. Peace and blessings.
So one, you acknowledge it, and then the second thing you say, okay, I act that way because of my programming, my upbringing, how my household life is, but I don't want to do that anymore.
So in that clip, you were talking to the volleyball team, varsity volleyball team.
Right.
Okay. And you were saying that your upbringing. Go ahead and explain, because I was busy recording it, so I really couldn't sit and digest it. What was your whole point in bringing that up to her?
Well, my whole point was that we behave in the now based off our childhood experiences.
Mm-hmm.
So how I react and respond in situations are all things that I've learned. Environment. And so I was teaching the girls that if they wanted to, if how they have been behaving is not serving them to their utmost good in this present moment, then they have to decide, one, acknowledge, okay, this is no longer serving me. The next thing is actually going to be accepting it, like really accepting, like I act like this because this was my situation. Because a lot of times we know something was messed up in our lives, but we don't really accept it. We rather push it away. We rather not deal with it. So acknowledge, accept, and then the last step is taking radical action. So in order for you to actually change an aspect of yourself, you have to act and behave differently, radically. Like you have to do the exact opposite of whatever behavior, whatever thought process, whatever emotion that you have been programmed to do, to feel, to think. And so that's how we change. And we take that radical action every day as often as possible whenever our situation and circumstances allow us to. And to be really radical would be to go out of your way to do the opposite. So not to wait to a situation that looks familiar and do something different, but actually intentionally make new situations for yourself. And I know that from my own experience. Like I've experienced that myself.
Give us an example.
Well, the greatest example that I can give you right now, well, this is a past because I've did the work, but I had feelings of rejection and abandonment from my upbringing. I mean, I have great parents and they did their best with their level of consciousness, with their level of awareness at the time of my upbringing when I was a child, but there was some abandonment feelings and emotions that I had. And so when it came down to my relationship, you know, he would want to go and do something that was beneficial for the whole family. But I would be like, no, you got to go. Wait, no, stay with me. You know what I mean? Instead of giving him the freedom and giving him my blessing to go out and grind.
You're talking about
my love, Dream Wise.
Okay.
I'm talking about my love, Dream Wise.
Okay.
I didn't give him my blessing to go work on his business. I didn't give him my blessing to go, work on his craft. And I didn't know that I was doing that until he brought it up to me. He said, babe, you're not really being supportive. And I had to, and I didn't believe him at first. And that's the thing when we're trying to heal emotions and heal past thought patterns. At first, we're not going to see it. We don't see it, but we'll have experiences over and over and over again that are signposts to say, hey, there's something wrong with this. This isn't right. Check this, address this. So let me insert this right here. Whenever you get into a dispute with family member, coworker, loved one, children, it doesn't matter. Whenever you are getting into a disagreement, an argument about something, use that moment as a time for you to reflect on yourself. What in me feels like what this person is doing is actually wrong? What in me doesn't like what this person is doing, and why? And why? Okay, like really use those moments to self-investigate. And if you ask yourself why, the answer will come. Okay, it may come in a dream, it may come in a quick thought, but the answer is going to come Because at the end of the day, your spirit, who you divinely are, wants you to be your best self. It wants you to heal these things. But it's our ego that's like, no, how I'm acting, how I'm feeling, that's normal. That's me. That's just how I am. But it's really not. That's your programming that you're behaving from. But anyways, I wasn't giving him my blessing and I wasn't fully supporting him, which consciously, of course, babe, go do your work. Go do what you love. I support you. I want you to be great. I really do. But my programming kept coming through and he wasn't feeling that support. And so obviously he's going to make that known to me. And at first I'm like, no, what are you talking about? But when I would feel myself get emotional about it, that meant that some aspect of me agreed with what he was saying.
When you get emotional thinking to yourself, or when you get emotional when he brings it up?
When I get emotional and he brings it up.
Okay.
So he says to me, babe, you're not really being supportive. And I start crying and shedding a tear. That means deep down inside, I know that I'm not really being supportive. That's called an agreement. Okay. There's a book out there by Don Ruiz, something like that. The Four Agreements.
The Four Agreements.
The Four Agreements. So if something has the ability to affect you emotionally in a lower vibration, negative manner, you have to do the self-investigation to figure out where you agreed with what was done. All right. And so I understood the concepts of that book, and I understood for me to have been emotional about it, something in me actually agrees that I'm not really being supportive. I just don't know why, to my conscious mind. And so I asked myself, why is it hard for me to let him go and for us to be alone, apart from each other in this moment? And the answer came. Abandonment, wanting my father to come and pick me up on a day that he said he was going to pick me up, but he didn't come for whatever reason. And I'm waiting on him to come, but he doesn't come. Now I feel abandoned. I feel rejected. I feel unwanted. And so I discovered that the answer came. And when that answer came, I acknowledged it. Okay, that makes sense. All right. And I accepted. I said, okay, that was the experience that happened with my dad. Yeah. It did. Now I'm going to take radical action. So now I'm like, babe, go upstairs. Upstairs, that's where our office is. Babe, go upstairs, do your work, take however much time you need. I'm good. Oh, babe, I got to go to the post office to drop off some packages. Yes, go. Don't worry. I'm good. You got it. So like I said earlier, I became intentional about making ways for us to be apart, right? You know what, babe? Go do whatever you want to do. I'm going to just chill at home, or I'm going to just go in the room. I just want to spend some time by myself. Okay. So I made ways for me to still feel loved, wanted, valued without us having to have an experience. I took radical action. That's what I mean when I say radical action. I'm like, go. Knowing that there's an aspect of me that is in healing from this. Right. And so the more that I did that, the more I actually healed that aspect of myself. Now it's nothing. Now it's like, babe, I got to go. No, hey, we good. I'm good. And I really am good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's what we're talking about when we're talking in terms of healing. Like if something drives you emotionally, if something causes you pain that comes from like a disagreement or an altercation or something like that, then you got to look back and think about what aspects of yourself really agrees with whatever the other person is doing. Ask yourself why. And you keep asking yourself why. And most of the times that why is going to lead to a childhood experience.
Most of the time.
Most of the times that why is going to lead to a child or maybe a teenage, early adulthood experience. But a lot of our programming, a lot of the ways that we think, act, feel, respond, react have to do with survival. Like, right? Like I'm like, okay, babe, go ahead and go upstairs. That's my child self. That's childish. That's baby D-Ray. That's like, please don't leave me. Like, I want you to go, but please don't leave me right now. Please stay with me. You know what I mean? And when I say, okay, babe, go upstairs, he like, all right. You know, there's times where he'd be like, all right, I'm going to stay for 5 more minutes, you know, because my child self needed him in that moment like that. Not knowing that that's what that was. It wasn't really me because I'm grown. I'm big D-Ray. But people don't understand that a lot of our behaviors are still from child self, unhealed child self.
What song's on your mind right now?
I guess the first song that just came to mind is actually the song that I thought about when I was riding here. And it's kind of very synchronistic at this very moment. And it's I Choose by NDRE.
Okay.
Because you never know where life is going to take you, and you can't change where you've been. But today, I have the opportunity to choose.
Okay.
You never know where life is really going to take you, but every day, every moment, you can choose.
Yeah.
Like, I can choose to be like, you know what? I'm free from this. I don't want to. You don't know. You know what I'm saying? But every day, you can choose to come from a spirit of optimism. You know what I'm saying? Every day. Every day you have a choice. Am I going to think, behave, and act, feel in the same ways that I felt in the past, though it's no longer serving me? Like, some things hurt. Some things really do hurt, and they take time to heal, you know?
Yeah. And I'm going to go, since I've heard this song, I'm going to go Joe Budden, Real Estate. And
I've never heard that one.
Yeah, and so the thing about it is, in my current situation, you know, with having to deal with the thought of, you know, losing a child, I've thought to myself, you know, sometimes I'll be sitting still, and then I start to think about him, and then I start to get emotional, and then I start to think, do I have mental issues right now? Am I depressed? But leading into that song, there was a time period in his career where he was super depressed and he had mental issues, and he made up an album called Padded Room. And so he's speaking from the aspect of trying to escape what people have kind of like, people don't know his mentality, but they think because you have mental issues that you have to be boxed in, you need some kind of help, when really it just might be a conversation.
Right.
So he's leading to the fact of not accepting what people have kind of boxed him into in the
Love
song.
it.
So I listened to that song 3 times at practice this morning, and so it kind of was just like, when I'm in my emotional bag, I turn to his music. It really just kind of puts me in the mood.
Okay.
To persevere.
For sure.
Yeah.
And that's a spiritual quality, a spiritual character trait to actually have: perseverance, optimism, courage, fearlessness, resilience. Those are things that you got to tap into when you are having highly emotional experiences. I'm gonna tell you right now, no, you're not depressed.
Okay, good.
You're not depressed.
I've you know, I mean, you know, yesterday when I was talking to a couple of coworkers, and you know, I just was overcome with emotion.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Just it's a lot to deal with.
Grievance is real.
Yeah, it's a lot to deal with. So I'm just appreciative to be strong enough to talk about it.
Right.
Sometimes when you box it in or you try to duck from the emotion, it gets worse. So I'm just
the healing and revealing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Yeah, it is. It is. So I just that's the song that's on my mind.
Beautiful. Yeah, and I definitely want you and Kizzy and y'all's entire family to take your time through the grieving. There is no time frame that says I should be over this by now when it comes to this. Now, childhood D-Ray, and I'm a grown woman, and I'm trying to cultivate healthy relationships. And yes, there's a time that I should be over this by now. You know what I mean? But ease on down the road. Every day you get stronger. You know what I mean? Every day you get stronger, and never block yourself from having the experience of those emotions, because that's your love. That's you experiencing love at like the deepest level. And that's okay. And in due time, you'll have sunshine around the whole situation. Like, it'll still be like, God dang it, that happened.
Yeah.
But you gain such new perspective and outlook on life.
I recollect on a time when we were talking when it was 2019. It was 2000, I believe, 18.
Mm-hmm.
We were sitting with Afua,
Okay.
and Afua spoke about her daughter
Right.
that had transitioned, and then she kind of just like Maya,
Right. That emotion that came through.
and
That strength that came through.
I knew that was her. She had healed from it,
Mm-hmm.
but you heal from it, but you never quite forget. And it was
Right.
one of those things where it wasn't a cry; it was just like, whoo, just to release. I recollect on that moment.
Oh yeah, that was a very powerful moment.
Yeah, it was.
That was a very
I
powerful
think
moment.
I think if we were recording that like cinematically, I think everybody's expression would have led on to the same thing that she was feeling in that moment. Like we
Of
all kind of
course.
were just like we all knew.
Right.
We all knew. And I was just like, when I look back, because I actually watched that episode, or what, maybe when I was in New York, I looked at that episode, I watched it, and I remember that moment. I was like, man,
Wow.
damn, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Yeah.
That was a moment that would literally give you chills. It gave us chills.
It did.
It caused a stillness in the
did.
room.
It did. It did.
And you know what I also think about is that experience for her is a pivotal moment in her life.
Mhm.
You know? It's hard, but there's so many blessings and opportunity and growth that came out of that. Like she will tell you, like she would not have that birthing place center if it
Yes.
wasn't for her daughter.
Yes.
So it's amazing.
Yeah.
And loss is never easy, and you got to go through the experience.
Yeah. So, you're a relationship alchemist.
Yes.
Okay. And I guess not without going too far into detail, but how do you begin to monetize that?
Well, actually, I have a website called relationshipalchemy.org, and you got to get paid for your gifts.
That's what I'm
You
alluding
got to
to. That's
get
what I'm
paid
alluding to.
for
Where
your
do you-
gifts.
How do you begin to now? So let's just say somebody watching this episode is like, you know what, I really like that, because I feel there've been a couple of episodes that have just been gems, and I feel like every episode gives a gem. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But somebody's watching this episode and they're like, I want to counsel relationships.
Okay.
Where would you tell them to start? How do they start to do that?
Well, you first start by counseling your relationship with yourself.
Is that why you
And
say?
you heal your relationship with self to heal your relationship with others.
Okay.
That's the first, biggest, and most important thing.
Okay.
Because in order to have healthy relationships, each person has to understand themselves as an individual.
Yeah.
And they also have to understand their greatness. They have to understand their weakness.
Yeah.
And so if this is like something that you want to do and you feel like you have, which everybody does,
Yeah.
everybody has a gift that they should be prospering from,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
And
correct.
it's crazy because a lot of people really think that you shouldn't get paid to counsel, to advise.
Mm,
But you got to understand this is an energetic exchange.
yeah.
So I give away a whole bunch of free content on YouTube,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
From my heart. But it gets to a certain point to where my energy costs.
Yes.
And at the end of and there's really no amount of money on the effects that if you actually take the steps and you do the action, you take radical action in your healing, it's really priceless.
Mhm.
So for people doing this work like spiritual advising, life coaching, relationship counseling, there's really no price you can put on that when a life has been changed forever, or when a person is equipped with the right tools to actually change their own life. So we all have gifts. We've all been graced with gifts. And hey, I got a lot of people. Hey, what should I do about this? Can I talk to you about something? And money, currency, that's basically what it is. It's a currency. Energy is a currency. That's why it's called you pay attention. Even watching these videos is giving an exchange of energy. But when you want more, when you want one-on-one, when you want personal advice, when you want my personal energy with you, yes, you can pay for that, because you know it's going to change you. You know it's going to help you to be better. And to add this, if you got gifts that you are not being paid for, to add this into it, And it's crazy because the thought kind of just slipped my mind really quickly, but dang it, I done lost where I was going with that. If you got gifts that you should be paid for.
Go ahead, we got time.
Man,
Go
it
ahead.
just left my mind. I know that be spirit at work.
Make sure you get back to them.
It just, y'all, it totally just left my mind. But look,
I get those all the time.
man, you have to, man, you have to be compensated for your gifts.
Yes.
You really do, on some level or another.
Yes.
And I want to add into that, perfect your craft. Like I study healing, emotional healing, mental, spiritual, physical healing. And so, you know, people will suck you dry. If they don't, oh, that's what I wanted.
Go ahead. Here it
oh
goes.
gosh,
Here it goes.
that's
Here
what
it
I
goes. Come
wanted.
on.
People do not take things seriously that they don't pay for.
Okay. That's true. That's
Period.
a fact.
So even
a
if they
fact.
pay a small amount, they still don't take it that seriously. You know what I mean? But if they gotta pay for it, they gotta really, you know, put this energy to it, this financial energy to it. Then they're like, okay, I'm really listening. I'm really taking this into consideration. I'm really going to go out and do the work. That's just what it is. If you don't pay for it, you're just going to keep coming back for this free information, but you're not going to act on it.
Yeah.
And you're therefore not going to be changed.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it.
Today is August the 6th, 2019, and we have 147 days left in the year.
Wow.
What do you hope to attain in those 147 days?
Wow. Man, so much. I'm working on some products that I'm pushing out. I hope to finish a book that I'm working on by the end of the year. That would be great. Finish the book, put out the products, and just continue doing my work. Just continue doing my work and have fun while I'm doing it. Like, don't take myself so serious. Don't take the people that I deal with so seriously. It is my goal for the end of this year to really enjoy, live it up. You know what I'm saying? We're going into 2020. Who knows what kind of year that's going to be? Just with the numbers, with the presidency, just with the energy within itself. Like, my love says 2020, open your eyes. That's 2020 vision. So a lot is going to be changing at this time going into 2020 and when 2020 actually get here. So I just want to make sure that I'm keeping my vibrations high, that I'm touching as many hearts as possible, you know, whenever I can, and just really making a difference within my own life and then within the lives that I interact with, whether on podcasts, YouTube, Instagram, whatever. Just really giving from my authentic self and giving from what I know. Giving from what I know from my experience. Yeah. And that's what I hope to accomplish. Like the products are already on the way. Yeah. Already working on them. They already pretty much done. The book, I would say, is what I'm really going to have to put some really focused will and energy into. But that's pretty much it. That's what I'm wanting to do for this end of this year.
So the What's Next podcast came about. I was sitting in my mother's kitchen sometime. It might have been 2018 or so. Right? Okay. This is before the rebrand came. And I was thinking, all right, John, you've done this. What's next for you? Right. So when I posed that question to everybody that comes on here, I really mean immediately. What's next for them immediately? And that's the last question I'll pose to you. What is next for Dra?
It's D-Ray.
But you kept saying Baby Dra or I'm sorry.
No,
what's next for D-Ray?
I said Baby D-Ray. And let me
I'm sorry.
Let me even tell you about that, because I was always called D-Ray as a kid growing up.
But sometimes you have said,
I ain't never said Dra.
Dra. I didn't say draw. I said Dra.
I've never said Dra, y'all. Never.
What's next for D-Ray? And
I said, and relationship alchemy.
What is the acronym Dra? D-Ray mean?
Divine Relationship Alchemy, ding dong.
Okay. Gotcha.
But before that, though, I was always called D-Ray. Like, whenever I played sports and I did something good in the game, they would always say, D-Ray.
Okay.
So the name chooses you.
Yeah.
The name
No
chooses
doubt,
you,
no
and your
doubt,
energy
no
just
doubt.
aligns with it.
No doubt.
So
What's
immediately,
next?
though, I'm sending these products out because I want people to heal. I
Okay.
want people to heal their minds, their bodies, their emotions. And so that's immediately what's next. Like, I got shipment coming in that I just got to put together, like now. Like I said, the work is never, ever done. So every day I'm analyzing myself and trying to understand why I behaved, thought, felt however I felt, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what's happening. I got some clients coming in. I have people paying for consultations and coaching sessions and things of that nature. So I'm just continuously doing that and upping the marketing and upping my engagement on Instagram and and YouTube and things like that. So what's next is actually what's now. I should say what's next is actually what's now. Like, what am I doing now? So it's just about, understanding time and allocating time to these certain things so that I can continue thriving in my spiritual business and letting everything else kind of just fall into place.
No doubt. So what I like to do here on the podcast is I like to give out this black SVI T-shirt, and it's a gift from my company to you. I think so many times when people do interviews or they come and sit and talk with somebody, they don't leave with anything. You're sewing into my platform, and from my platform, I want to give you this T-shirt. So whenever you wear that, I know that hey, she did my podcast, even if I forget.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you had anything else?
Man, no, I'm really proud of you.
I appreciate it.
I'm really proud of you. You have been focused. You have been getting it in. And that's a part of why I gave you that position, why I threw you that alley hoop.
Yeah.
In whatever year that was, 2017 or something.
17.
But you definitely have a grind spirit, a nonstop. Like, you're not a quitter.
I appreciate it.
You're not a quitter.
I appreciate it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I appreciate it.
And guess what led you to be that way? Your upbringing led you to be that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't quit. You got to keep going. And you're passionate as hell.
No doubt.
And that's love, and that's rare for people. When you say you're going to do something, you do it. That's the Virgo in you.
I appreciate it.
All right? So,
I appreciate it.
Yeah. You don't have any more questions?
Oh, no. I'll live with this. Houston, I do what I do for myself so I can prove that I can do it for others. Peace and blessings.
Peace.
Yo, it feel like 95. Sachi on my body. Biggie, jigger, puffy. All that ballin' is a hobby. And I'm wildin' in my wallies. And them valleys, no Pilates. More wet, get you more wet. Nah, that's these Spumante. My crystal ball, I see crystal. I crystal y'all with that. I saw the sign like Ace of Spades. That Ace of Spades get cracked me like cheers to the money guy. The Willie niggas who buy them bottles. And then they spill these liquors. Yo, salute my dude. I see you, dawg. 5 bottles, 1 dick. Why I need 2 bras? I know I'm out of line, but love is shower time. You know it rose rain when your cloud is 9. Get off that high ass hussy. This a private party. Been on my dick too long. Your breath on private party. You gon' be nice and naughty. These walls on priceless Audi. This the upper crust. Fuck is up. Over and done. Overdose. Yes, we did it again. Sipping with no remorse. We gon' do it again, and we gon' do